Hi, good morning to all. Okay, in the last session in solutions and colligative properties, we studied up to Henry's law. Now see the next one. What is vapor pressure, boiling point and freezing point of a given liquid? So vapor pressure, for every liquid it has its vapor pressure. At a given constant temperature is constant. When you take any liquid, in the liquid molecules present, these are the liquid molecules. On the surface area of these liquid molecules, corresponding vapor molecules also present. These are the vapor molecules. For every liquid, in liquid phase, corresponding liquid molecules there, on that particular surface area, those vapor molecules present because of their high kinetic energy. In this way, these molecules tend to escape. But after some time, they lost their corresponding energy and again fall down into the liquid. Here simultaneously two processes will be happening. One is tendency of escaping nature. This process is known as evaporation process, and tendency of fall down process. This process is known as condensation process. Simultaneously, these two processes happening on the surface area of every liquid. But at a particular instant, there exists dynamic equilibrium. At a dynamic equilibrium, the rate of the evaporation is equal to rate of condensation. This situation will be arised on the surface area of the liquid at a given temperature. This is called dynamic equilibrium. What is the rate of evaporation? What is the rate of condensation? The number of liquid molecules tend to escape per unit time is called rate of evaporation. Similarly, the number of vapor molecules fall down into the liquid surface per unit time is called rate of condensation. At a definite instant, these two rates will be equal. Therefore, a dynamic equilibrium situation will be established. At this dynamic equilibrium, there are a definite number of vapor molecules in this closed vessel. This is a closed vessel. In this volume, we know this volume, and number of vapor molecules also known, and already we know the temperature. Under this situation, according to ideal gas equation, this is the PV is equal to nRT, or we can write PV is equal to NKBT, where N is the number of molecules. Small n is the number of moles. If it is moles, use R value. If N is capital N is the number of gas molecules, then use Boltzmann constant Kb. In this equation, PV is equal to capital N KBT. We know the volume expression. We know the number of vapor molecules present in this given volume at given temperature. And we know this Kb is the Boltzmann constant. Under this situation, we can calculate this pressure. This pressure is called vapor pressure of the liquid at this temperature. So like this, mathematically we can understand vapor pressure. What is the exact definition of this vapor pressure? Vapor pressure is the vapor pressure of a liquid. It is the pressure exerted by vapor molecules. These vapor molecules, when they are in equilibrium with its liquid molecules. These are the vapor molecules, these are the liquid molecules. With the liquid molecules at a given temperature, this is the vapor pressure of the liquid. The pressure exerted by vapor molecules, already we calculated this pressure. The pressure exerted by vapor molecules when they are in equilibrium with its liquid molecule at a given temperature is defined as vapor pressure of the given liquid at that temperature. Like this we can understand vapor pressure. For every liquid there is a definite vapor pressure at a given temperature. Based on that we can see factors affecting the vapor pressure. Factors affecting the vapor pressure. It depends only on two factors. One is the nature of the liquid. One is the nature of liquid. Second one is temperature. Liquid may be, this is a volatile liquid or non-volatile liquid. Volatile liquid or non-volatile liquid. Volatile liquid means it has more escaping tendency. Non-volatile liquid means it has less escaping tendency. Based on this we can understand this vapor pressure is high, this vapor pressure is low. Best example for volatile liquid, best example is petrol. For non-volatile liquid, best example is water. Water molecules cannot escape easily, but petrol molecules escapes easily. So this depends on the nature of the liquid. And the second factor, temperature. The effect of the temperature, second factor is temperature. The effect of temperature on vapor pressure can be easily understood by using a Clausius-Clapeyron equation. This is explained by Clausius-Clapeyron equation. Clapeyron equation. This equation is so vapor pressure of the liquid P is equal to some constant into e power minus delta H vaporization by RT. This is the Clausius-Clapeyron equation. So if you draw this graphical representation, it is exponential increasing graph with respect to temperature. This is vapor pressure versus temperature graph. The graphical representation comes like this. It is not a linear graph, it is exponential increasing graph. It is exponential increasing graph. So as the temperature increases, vapor pressure increases. So this is true for any liquid. So that can be easily understood by Clausius-Clapeyron equation. Suppose if you convert this Clausius-Clapeyron equation in different formats, again we can draw different graphical representation. Suppose it is converted into ln form. Ln means natural logarithm base e, or it is converted into log form, or it can be taken at two different temperatures. Based on that we can draw graphical representations. See, if you convert in ln form, what is this equation? Vapor pressure P is equal to some constant into e power minus delta H vaporization by RT. So if you convert into ln form, so this is ln P is equal to some constant, so ln constant minus delta H vaporization by RT. Suppose if you convert into log form, log P is equal to, ln means base E, log means base 10. Log P is equal to some constant minus delta H vaporization by 2.303 RT. 2.303 RT. Suppose if you take the same expression at two different temperatures, we can write this is ln of P2 by P1 is equal to delta H vaporization by R into 1 by T1 minus 1 by T2. From this take the two forms at two different temperatures. Ln P1 at T1 temperature, ln P2 at T2 temperature. If you subtract from one to another, ln P2 by P1 is equal to delta H vaporization by R into 1 by T1 minus 1 by T2. If you convert into log form, log P2 by P1 is equal to delta H vaporization by 2.303 R into 1 by T1 minus 1 by T2. If you take the LCM, it is T1 T2 in numerator T2 minus T1. So this is the Clausius-Clapeyron equation at two different temperature. As per the given data, if two temperatures data, one vapor pressure given, second vapor pressure at the second temperature calculated by this Clausius-Clapeyron equation. And effect of temperature on vapor pressure can be easily understood by using this Clausius-Clapeyron equation. These are the different forms of Clausius-Clapeyron equation. This is the Clausius-Clapeyron equation at two different temperatures. From that we can draw graphical representation. It is a vapor pressure versus temperature graph. This is ln P versus 1 by T graph. This is log P versus 1 by T graph. So any theoretical question or numerical can be easily solved by this information. Now see the next one. What is a boiling point? See next one, boiling point of the liquid. Boiling point of the liquid. Every liquid has a definite boiling point at a given external pressure, because when you take the liquid, when you raise the temperature, liquid try to convert into vapor, and there exists equilibrium between this liquid and vapor at a definite external pressure and a definite temperature. So this temperature is called boiling point. It should be at equilibrium. What is equilibrium condition? Delta G must be 0. So what is the boiling point of the liquid definition? There are different definitions. Definition 1. It is a temperature. It is a temperature at which vapor pressure of liquid becomes equal to external pressure. Vapor pressure of liquid becomes to external pressure. How can you understand this definition 1? You know, this is equilibrium. For this equilibrium, there is a definite equilibrium constant, that is Kp value. Kp value. And what is this Kp value? Pressure of this vapor. Pressure of this vapor. But we know this arrangement will be taken in a piston arrangement. Piston arrangement, that is external pressure. External pressure. So when liquid is in equilibrium with its vapor at a definite external pressure and a definite temperature, at equilibrium condition is delta G is equal to 0. At a definite temperature, there is a definite equilibrium constant value Kp. What is this Kp value? This is the pressure of the vapor. This pressure of the vapor must be equal to external pressure. So this is also written as vapor pressure of the liquid. This is also written as vapor pressure of the liquid. So what is this? It is a temperature at which vapor pressure of the liquid becomes equal to this external pressure. That is called boiling point. Similarly, we can write another definition, second definition. It is a temperature at which both liquid and vapor exist in equilibrium. Both liquid and vapor exist in equilibrium. Vapor exists in equilibrium. So that means delta G must be 0 for this equilibrium. So like that we can define in two ways this boiling point. So boiling point and external pressure relation. Boiling point and external pressure relation, we know this is endothermic process. This is endothermic process, delta H is equal to positive. For endothermic process, for delta H is equal to positive, as temperature increases, what happened? Equilibrium will be shifted in the endothermic side, forward direction. Equilibrium will be disturbed. To restore the original equilibrium, now manipulate the pressure by increasing pressure. To restore that original equilibrium, by increasing pressure only, external pressure only, that equilibrium will be restored. That means by changing temperature, we disrupt the above equilibrium. But to restore the same equilibrium at equilibrium condition, we manipulated the pressure. To restore that equilibrium, again we increase the pressure. That means if you increase the temperature, pressure also must be increased to maintain that equilibrium, same equilibrium. By this we can understand boiling point of the liquid is directly proportional to external pressure. When you change the temperature, default equilibrium constant changes. That means equilibrium position changes. To restore that original equilibrium, again we have to manipulate in terms of pressure. By this relation, those two will be related. So for any liquid, boiling point of the liquid is directly proportional to external pressure. Next, what is the relation between boiling point and vapor pressure? So relation between relation between boiling point and vapor pressure of the liquid. So already we have drawn this graphical representation. This is vapor pressure versus temperature graph. This is exponential increasing graph. Okay, as temperature increases, vapor pressure increases. Here, as per this definition 1, what is definition 1? It is a temperature at which vapor pressure of liquid becomes to external pressure. Based on the first definition, here if you raise the temperature, vapor pressure increases. What is the general external pressure? It is 1 atmosphere. So at 1 atmosphere, the corresponding temperature is called boiling point of the liquid. When you raise the temperature, vapor pressure increases. Okay, at what temperature it reaches to external pressure 1 atmosphere, that corresponding temperature is boiling point. So based on this graphical representation, we can understand boiling point and vapor pressure relation. Suppose I am taking it is liquid 1 and this is liquid 2. I am taking 2 liquid graphical representation. I used starting temperature is this only. Starting temperature is this only. At this T, this is vapor pressure of the first liquid. This is the vapor pressure of the second liquid. Then if you raise the temperature, both liquid vapor pressures increases and reaches to a definite temperatures at a definite temperatures this external pressure. They reaches to external pressure at a definite temperature. This is boiling point of the second liquid. Boiling point of the second liquid. This is the boiling point of the first liquid. So if you raise the temperature, this reaches to external pressure at this temperature. If you raise the temperature, this reaches to external pressure at this temperature. Now more vapor pressure is there, its boiling point is less. Less vapor pressure is there, its boiling point is more. From these two we can understand boiling point of the liquid is inversely proportional to vapor pressure of the liquid. Here I am going to conclude these points. Already I specified these points. Vapor pressure is directly proportional to temperature, which can be explained by using Clapeyron equation. Second one, boiling point is directly proportional to external pressure, which can be understood by using that equilibrium. And third one, boiling point and vapor pressure are inversely proportional, which can be understood by this graphical representation. This is the boiling point information. Now comes to freezing point. Okay, next one is freezing point. Freezing point. What is a freezing process? Freezing is when a liquid is allowed to cool, somewhere it becomes solid. This process is called freezing. During this process, delta H becomes negative, exothermic process, and this also comes in equilibrium at a definite external pressure and at a definite temperature. This temperature is called freezing point. So what is the exact definition of freezing point? In the similar aspect of boiling point, we can understand it is a temperature at which both liquid and solid exists in equilibrium. What is equilibrium condition? Delta G must be 0. So where these two are in equilibrium at a given external pressure, that temperature is called a freezing point. It is a temperature at which both liquid and solid exist in equilibrium. And even we can define in another way, it is a temperature at which both liquid and solid have the same vapor pressure. Even this also, so freezing point of a given liquid. We can understand this point by this graphical representation. See this graphical representation. This is vapor pressure versus temperature graph. Vapor pressure versus temperature graph. In this graph, we know it is exponential increasing graph. When it is in liquid state, no doubt it is exponential increasing graph. But once if you decrease the temperature, somewhere it becomes solid. It becomes solid. When it becomes solid, suddenly vapor pressure decreases, because for every substance in its solid state some vapor pressure there, liquid state also vapor pressure there. But comparatively liquid state, solid state vapor pressure will be less. That's why when you decrease the temperature, when temperature decreases, liquid somewhere becomes solid. This is a solid line, whereas this is liquid line. Comparatively this decreasing is a sharp decreasing, and the intersect point corresponding vapor pressure at a definite temperature, this is called freezing point of this liquid. So at this temperature, when you decrease the temperature, liquid becomes solid at the given external pressure. What is that external pressure? This is only external pressure in this. This is the external pressure in this. What is the freezing point definition? Second definition, it is a temperature, this is the temperature at which both solid and liquid have the same vapor pressure. Okay, that vapor pressure only nothing but external pressure. So like this we can understand freezing point. So in this session we discussed clearly 3 points: vapor pressure and corresponding factors, graphical representations. Next, boiling point, corresponding factors and graphical representation. Next, freezing point, corresponding factors and graphical representation. Based on this vapor pressure, boiling point, freezing point, we can understand clearly colligative properties concept. Okay, in the next session we will discuss vapor pressure of a liquid in liquid solutions. Vapor pressure of liquid in liquid solutions. So what is liquid in liquid solution? Liquid in liquid solution is in this solute is liquid, solvent also liquid. So it is a liquid in liquid solution, binary solution, liquid in liquid solution. In this process, every liquid has its own vapor pressure at a given temperature. Temperature is constant. Temperature is constant. Suppose I have taken liquid A. You know, on this surface area some vapor molecules present. Its corresponding vapor pressure is let Pa naught. Similarly for this, if you add another liquid, this is liquid B. These are the liquid molecules. On this surface area some vapor molecules there. This vapor pressure is Pb naught. At a given temperature, every liquid has its own vapor pressure. When these two liquids mixed, then solution will be formed. Solution will be formed. This is A plus B solution. Here also liquid phase there and vapor phase there. This is liquid phase, this is vapor phase. Okay, in liquid A, only A molecule has a escaping tendency. In liquid B, only B molecule has escaping tendency. But in the liquid in liquid A plus B mixture, liquid A has some escaping tendency, liquid B also having some escaping tendency. By this, both vapor molecules comes. A vapor molecules comes, similarly B vapor molecule comes. That means A exerts some vapor pressure. Vapor pressure of this liquid A in the mixture is Pa. Similarly, B also exerts some pressure in the mixture, that is vapor pressure of B in the mixture, that is Pb. How these vapor pressure of pure liquids Pa naught, Pb naught, and vapor pressure of two liquids in the mixture Pa and Pb related, how these will be calculated? That is our main motto under this category. It is a vapor pressure of liquid in liquid solution. So here for this liquid solution mixture, we can apply Dalton's law. Dalton's law in vapor phase, Raoult's law in liquid phase. By using a Dalton's law, we can find out vapor pressure of the solution from the vapor phase. Similarly, by using Raoult's law, we can find out that vapor pressure of liquid in liquid solution from the liquid phase. To understand that, so we have to see individual information and corresponding calculation part and what is Raoult's law here. So if you look at liquid A, let this number of moles of A is equal to 0, A is equal to some moles there and B moles 0. Then what is the mole fraction of XA here? Na by Na plus Nb, this is equal to 1 and Xb is equal to 0. Whenever XA is equal to 1, Xb is equal to 0, this is the pure liquid A. Similarly, whenever in this only B moles there, A moles 0, then XA is equal to 0, XB is equal to 1. Whenever XB is equal to 1 and XA is equal to 0, that is called pure liquid B. So when pure liquid A and pure liquid B allowed to mix, solution will be formed. In this solution there is a liquid phase and vapor phase. Vapor phase, by using that liquid phase as well as vapor phase, we can calculate corresponding solution vapor pressure. I will discuss in the next session.